Hi, Nuan the Movie Slinger here with a review of The Predator. This movie is directed by Shane Black and stars Boyd Holbrook, Olivia Munn, Keegan-Michael Key, Thomas Jane and Sterling K. Brown. The movie starts with the Predator ship crash landing on Earth. The Predator on board this ship is injured and captured by a secret US military project called Stargazer. Our main protagonist, Army Ranger Quinn McKenna, played by Boyd Holbrook, has an encounter with the Predator during which his team are killed. But he ends up with some of the Predator's gear. He goes on the run because naturally everybody thinks his story of meeting an alien is insane. He smuggles the Predator's gear back to his home where his son finds it and starts playing with it. The captured Predator wants his stuff back because that's the only way to find his crashed ship. There's something very important on this ship. We're led to believe it could be some kind of weapon. Agent Traeger from the military's Stargazer project wants to find it. There's also a super Predator that's much bigger than the normal Predator who's going after the same thing. I like the story. They're definitely building on what the previous movie introduced, this idea that there are different types of predators and they're having a civil war. They also give more context into why the predators hunt. We already knew they collected trophies and they were perfecting their weapons and tactics through the hunt. Here we find out that collecting trophies has a deeper purpose behind it. Not gonna spoil it, but I liked what they did here. Let's talk about the tone. Let's get one thing straight. The Predator movies have all had very distinct styles and tones. Each one is different. The one thing they always had in common was the hunt. There's something in the jungle or in the streets, it's killing people, nobody really knows what it is. There's a mystery, the team has to figure out what it is, why it's killing people and survive. There's also an attempt to keep the Predator hidden until the big reveal. This movie throws all that out the window. It knows who the audience is. Shane Black knows that we've seen Predators before. There's been 3 movies already. We know what it looks like. There's no need to hide it. We see the Predator 2 minutes into the movie. This might bother some fans who want that slow build-up and suspense of the hunt, but I like the fact that this movie got right into the story instead of repeating what's come before. So at this point you might be thinking, wait a minute, no hunt, no slow build-up, this is not a Predator movie. That's exactly right, it's not. It's a Shane Black movie with Predators in it. And boy is it hilarious. This is without a doubt the funniest and most fun Predator movie in the series. The best part in this movie are the character interactions. So McKenna gets caught by the military and thrown in a prison bus along with Thomas Jane, Keegan-Michael Key, Trevante Rhodes and a bunch of other dudes. They're all ex-military convicts. They eventually break out of the prison bus and help McKenna get back to save his son. Their banter, their dialogue, curses and insults was exactly what was needed to make this movie work. I was a little worried about Michael Key, but he immediately put those concerns to rest. He has excellent comedic chemistry with Thomas Jane's character, who's a little crazy and he keeps mumbling to himself. I really liked their bromance in the movie. Boyd Holbrook was a decent protagonist, although I wish he had the same sort of scene-stealing personality he had in Logan. He had some nice moments with Trevante Rhodes' character. They start to bond and share old war stories, a sort of Dutch and Dylan type thing going on. There's also an incredibly hilarious sequence after the ex-military team rescue Casey, Olivia Munn's character. I liked her and she had excellent chemistry with the rest of the team. Jacob Tremblay plays McKenna's son. He's autistic and the movie also hints at some hidden potential in him. Shane Black works wonders with child actors. There's always an unexpectedly likable kid in his movies. The kid has this dry sense of humor that even makes some of the other characters laugh. Sterling K. Brown as Agent Traeger was funny and yet creepy at the same time. I don't know how he managed that. He laughs at stuff you don't expect to laugh at. I like that. There's also characters geeking out at all the alien stuff in the Project Stargazer base. We see this with Agent Traeger and Agent Keyes played by Jake Busey, who's playing the son of Peter Keyes from Predator 2. Olivia Munn's character gets excited when she sees all the alien tech. That was cute in a meta kind of way. The movie knows we are geeking out just as much as the characters. The action looked great, especially with the normal Predator. That scene where it breaks free from the military was really cool. The armor, the makeup, the design of it looked amazing. This is the best looking Predator we've ever had. We even see the Predator use his mandibles for the first time. It's not just for looks, it's practical too. Let's talk about the Super Predator. There's a few cool scenes with him. The kills are gory, especially the one where he beheads 3 soldiers at once. There's also a fun sequence where he's hunting the ex-military team in the forest. The Super Predator isn't just physically bigger than the classic Predator, he's also one of the biggest problems with this movie. I understand why he's bigger. The movie kind of explains why he's like that, but he's so big that the filmmakers have to resort to CGI, which doesn't always look good. The Predator has always looked real in the past because it is real. It's a guy in a suit. It works. This fully CGI Predator is one change I did not like. The other thing I didn't like was the final battle. It was so disappointing. They built up this Super Predator as an unstoppable freak of nature, and somehow it didn't feel like much of a challenge in the end. I also felt that there were too many characters around to help McKenna. It should have been just him, his kid, and the Super Predator. That would have made it much more intense. It's over way too fast too. It didn't feel like he earned it when he won. The best part of Arnold's movie was the end fight. Adrien Brody taking out the Predator was badass. Even in Predator 2, my least favorite movie, had a satisfying final showdown. And maybe also because the Super Predator is completely CGI, you can't really have that brutal close quarters, visceral fighting that was so satisfying to watch in the earlier movies. There's no sense of weight to this fight. My opinion, they should have done the Super Predator like they did in the 2010 movie. Make him slightly bigger than the classic Predator but small enough for a stunt guy to portray him, and then use character design to make him distinguishable from the other one. So, conclusion, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The character interactions were absolutely the best part about it. The movie knows what it is, a cheesy action movie, and it doesn't pretend to be otherwise. I thought the story was interesting too. The classic Predator looked awesome, and the Super Predator, while intimidating, kind of looked, well, it looked exactly like what it was. The action was good for the most part, although the final fight sequence falls short and straight into a puddle of mediocrity. Nobody's gonna be talking about this ending 20 years from now. I know this movie is gonna piss off a lot of fans. It's not a Predator movie. It's a Shane Black movie. And that's the point, isn't it? That's exactly why you get a guy like him to direct it. So if you go into this with an open mind and with the understanding that it's Shane Black, you will enjoy this movie. I had a blast, so I'll recommend you stream The Predator online or wait for the Blu-ray. No need to rush out to watch this in theaters the opening weekend. So, did you guys watch The Predator? If you did, what did you think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.